this hot take, as far as I'm concerned, is one that, people might laugh at face value, but I think maybe if you take a moment to think about it, has some merit. Okay. This take has got to do with the Denver Nuggets. They're currently 8-4. They're fifth in the West. Okay. They're obviously starting to roll. They got Jamal Murray back now. They got Michael Porter Jr. back. Aaron Gordon's playing actually really well at the moment. Jokic is still rolling out his numbers, even though he's not really getting as much attention now. Obviously, as a two-time MVP, and no one's thinking he's going to probably win 3 in a row. But my take here is that the Nuggets are not a championship contender at the moment unless they make a trade. Okay. And I think the best asset they have to make a trade here is I think the Denver Nuggets should put Michael Porter Jr. on the block. Okay. Because I think what they need, okay, is some more shooting. Okay. They obviously added, some shooting depth already in the offseason, but more shooting and a defensive stopper. Okay. I don't think they have that element of a championship winning team yet. They're close. Okay. They could probably, second round. Okay. But I don't think the Nets are championship contenders unless they swing a trade. And I think the best player they can put on the block here to get something of value is Michael Porter Jr. So maybe, what do you think? And who could they maybe swing for here if they're going to change this up?
I hate this take because I just feel like it's very common knowledge. But I guess I'll really double down. There are some people that adore the Nuggets and really feel like they're a team that's waiting to win, and they've had a couple of windows and then a little bit of bad luck. I don't see it. I don't see what the fuss is about. Jamal Murray is, I think, I don't know what the tiering system is, but I want to say like a CJ McCollum tier sort of guard. Very solid, but is not that franchise game changer that people think that they are. And when you pair them up with someone else, are very good in that supplementary role, but again, don't always push you over the hump. Jokic is a phenomenal talent. How do you build around him? You would theoretically think you want a bunch of shooters and then athletic playmakers to, amplify the fact that he can't probably move as well defensively as he should. And that's what you're alluding to a little bit. Michael Porter Jr., I think, is an injury flag. I think has legitimate injury risks. I think he has, trying to get my head around it, is it drop foot? Like he has historical back issues, which might be hereditary, and drop foot. He will have some form of professional career, but with a lot of hard work and effort put into maintaining that, but, is a risk. So I don't know which team takes that on to make the Nuggets better. In terms of players, though, like if we're gonna humor the idea that the Nuggets can get over this line, Brad Beal pops to mind a little bit. I feel like you actually want a playmaking shooter. You want someone who can create their own shot, but can feed off Jokic as well. And Brad Beal, to me, feels like a really good fit for that. That would mean that Washington would probably start tanking. So I guess they pick up Michael Porter Jr., maybe someone else or a pick, and then steer into that. And then they have a really unique makeup of the team. I guess like a Tyler Hero, not that Miami would give him up, but that again, that same archetype of player. But I mean, I personally don't see it. I've never actually seen it with the Nuggets the whole time.
I think, yeah, look, I guess that's half the take, that obviously the Nuggets here are not currently constructed to be championship contenders. Okay. They just don't seem to have that extra ingredient that is probably needed. Look, Bradley Beal going to any contending team would be such a huge boost, I guess, to any roster if they didn't give up too many of the core assets. But I think, look, in an ideal world, and I don't have a trade simulation here, nor are the Suns sort of giving up Mikal Bridges, okay? But that's sort of the ideal player that I'm sort of talking about. Can they find that sort of up and coming sort of 3-and-D player that obviously doesn't need to score 20 points a game, can take that defensive assignment, 1 through to 4, and obviously, knock down that corner 3. I think that's that extra player that gives that Denver Nuggets team that extra boost, because to a certain extent, Aaron Gordon and Michael Porter Jr. play similar sort of roles. And they got the pieces that can interchange here. Bones Highland has been playing really well at the moment. They got the depth there at that sort of the 3 and the 4 spot. Whereas, yeah, it's just, I don't know. I think they just need to swing, mix it up. They just need to mix it up. All right. And I don't know. I'm not sure. Maybe someone else can share what might be a viable trade to consider how you mix up the Nuggets to, put them in that, really that, move them up another tier.
Well, I'm going to have a bit of a jab at the Nuggets as well. Not that he is a solution to all their problems, but doesn't it feel like Bol would have been a really logical fit off the bench for the Nuggets? I think there's some interesting things that happen in Denver. They've let a handful of decent players go in their time. Jeremy Grant is another one. I know that it was his desire to have a little bit bigger of a role, but you see what he's doing in Portland now, and maybe that's a maturing thing that he had to go through to get to that realization that that's where he can be successful. But Nuggets have had players along the line that if they made a trade for them in 2022, you'd be like, oh, that's a really sensible move, or that's going to really help them. So, yeah, honestly, this is why I feel like the Nuggets. I can't think of a franchise that's comparative in the past that just really treads that first, second round every single year potential, but never really looks serious enough to be a finals contention. So, sorry, Nuggets fans, if there is any.
You can make us eat our words by going out there and winning a championship.
Yeah, which they're not going to.